Good evening, President Van Gimmert, board members. So what you have in your board packet is really two parts to the presentation. One is we want to continue to provide great detail relative to the financial performance of the district relative to the bond. Mr. Dresselhouse is going to walk you through kind of budget to actuals where we're at to date. Got some great news on the contingency, which continues to grow even with the amount of projects that we've bid out. We'll talk a little bit about just an update with some pictorials, what's happening at the four major projects at the elementary school as well as the middle school. And then I'll turn it back and kind of run the remainder of the projects that are in process with designing going up forward. So with that, I'm going to turn over to Mr. Dresselhouse.
Thank you, Mr. Wils. Board, good to see you again. It's been a busy year for all of us here as well on the construction site. So I'm just going to quickly recap for you where we're at, where we're going, and hopefully to the finish line here. So just want to quickly recap that the bond was successfully approved by the district back in August of 2020. It was a series of totaling approximately $200,155,000. It was broken up into basically three sections. We have Series 1, which was sold off in 2020 for $94 million. Series 2A sold off this year, 2022, for $20 million. And then we have Series 2B, which is $86.1 million, that is anticipated to be sold off in 2023. So currently, the amount of funds that are in play is around $114,045,000. And we are currently complying with the Department of Treasury's 85% expenditure requirements within the 3 years. Just recapping quickly here, the Series 1 and 2A of the work that's taking place between 2020 and 2023. We have the design and construction improvements at North Hills and South Hills. We have the design and construction additions and improvements at both Conant and Way. We have interior renovations that are currently ongoing at the elementary schools, Conant, Eastover, Lone Pine, Way, as well as piloting programs for technology and furniture implementation. So concurrently with all of this work going on, we have approximately $127 million of activity underway at this point. This is an important slide I want to take a few minutes to discuss with you. It's a little blurry on the screen, but so this is basically our construction cost update model that I've been working hard with the district's finance team. We are currently meeting weekly on this to really get our handle on not only contingency spend, but dollars that have been allocated versus budget to date. So district-wide, we have, as I alluded to, we've got about $127 million of committed cost to this date. We have spent out 67.9, so almost $68 million worth. An important highlight here is the construction and escalation contingency bucket. So we had approximately 18.2 that was in the budget, and today we have committed approximately 5.4. I will tell you that it sounds like we still have quite a bit of money left in contingency. However, we are clipping right along now, getting caught up on some change orders, municipal requirements that the city has required for us to do, some sanitary and storm modifications that needed to be taken care of. So I know the question is going to come up, at what point can we start thinking about releasing some contingency? I'd like to say that we're probably one more quarter away before having those discussions. And what does the contingency include? That's the construction, the FF&E, technology. We've got cost escalation in there, and then obviously the owner's contingency, which you can see below we have not tapped into. One other point of highlight here is that the contract budget for owner's contingency was the 2.6. But with the decision to keep the transportation and PPS building development on school-owned property over Eastover, we were able to have some cost avoidance of the real estate for additional land of approximately, I believe it's $2.7 million. So we've rolled that back into your owner contingency. As far as spend goes, on a monthly basis right now, we are gathering in invoices of around $5 million that we are approving and processing for payment. So you can see that we're clipping right along right now. As far as construction activity goes, I'll start off with it north. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to be by there lately, but things are really coming together. We are aggressively pushing the construction management team to hopefully have this school ready for operational setup at the end of July, maybe even early July. I think that is very achievable. At this point, the new gymnasium floor is going down. It looks amazing in there. We're continuing to prime and paint the walls inside. Ceiling panels and lights are going up in the new pool area that was just installed. Drywall finishings throughout. The new kitchen hood and walk-in cooler is being installed. And then obviously all the mechanical and MEP systems are continuing and ongoing. Taking a look at south, things are pretty well getting enclosed over there. All the wall construction, the CMU exterior walls for the new offices and things are being wrapped up. The construction for the new music room is really coming together. As you can see some of the newer photos that have been released. The roof joist and decking is in place. The roofing membrane is being installed over the auditorium. And then we did recently complete our punch list of activities from the work we did over this past summer. Moving on to Conant Elementary, we've got approximately $16.7 million. We're doing in total program costs there. The interior doors and window frames are now currently being installed. The roof joist, decking, membrane is all being installed over the multi-purpose room space. The exterior brick facade is coming into play and is looking really well. Interior walls are starting to become painted. The drywall work continues to finish up, and then again, all the MEP, mechanical, electrical systems are all in the works right now at this point. Moving on to Way, and this facility is perhaps a little bit of ahead of schedule compared to some of the other ones. The building, the new additions are in place. The brick has started over the last couple of weeks with regards to the new exterior facade. On the classroom additions, roofing started this week and is being installed over both additions. Again, the mechanical systems are all being installed currently. Interior walls are starting to get painted, and the walk-in fridge has also been installed in the new kitchen area. So things are really progressing nicely there. Just a couple other highlights that I wanted to point out of other activities that we're working on. The PPS and transportation development, which is obviously a big part of this next phase of work. We have moved things up on that to try to capture back some of the construction escalation costs so that we can have more money to do some other things here. We are currently through schematic design. We have priced it out. We have some value engineering we're working on concurrently, hoping to have that wrapped up and into design development here by early first quarter. And then we're really looking to perhaps get in for permitting and things like that by July, and maybe even starting construction next year. So that has been moved up. High school athletics also, which will be coming in front of you for a bid pack award later here in this evening. We have negotiated, went through design on the new baseball and softball turf fields. We've reached an agreement on that with the team, and we're ready to procure that yet this year, maybe even first part of January. But it's going to be state of the art, and hopefully everybody will be excited about that. With respect to the new wellness center and the concessions building, again, that is a project that we have moved forward to try to expedite and get things going, and we've actually started the schematic design on that. That is to be wrapped up here in January, and then we will look at it together as a team, make our necessary adjustments we need to fit the budget, and then get that into play as well, hopefully next year. And then the elementary playground equipment also will be coming in front of you this evening for approval. The design team has narrowed that down, finalized it, and will be coming to board for recommendation. With that, I'll turn it back over to Paul to take you through where we're at closing things out here. So.
Thank you, sir. So the best part about everything that's under construction now, all the new construction spaces will be complete for the fall of '23. So again, to Alan's point, we want to get everything done by July. That allows furniture, technology, teachers, the comfort level to move in, so we're not painting over, let's say, Labor Day weekend going forward. Some of the next scope of work that you'll see as a board, and also some new board members in January and February, is the interiors. So again, over at Eastover, which is at East Hills site, Lone Pine at West Hills Way, and Conant, there's a phase 2 interiors. This would be some of the flooring, ceilings, things of that nature that will take place also in the fall of '23, but also come back in the summer of '24, again, once kids are out, to redo some of those finishes. So the good news is all the new construction will be done. You'll be able to reconfigure to the K5, 6, 8, 9, 12 models going forward. And then, so again, as Alan mentioned, I'm not going to read through these, but we have accelerated several projects. Again, we're trying to beat escalation. More importantly, we're trying to get the spaces for the students in the community sooner than was originally anticipated. So again, kudos to French Associates, the Architect of Record, and Bart Battle Builders for their team effort going forward. Still a lot of work to do. So what does that look like for those next series of projects? So again, these are kind of right now, we call them the phase 2B. So again, you'll issue the second or the third series in the spring of '23. Question for you, International Academy. Right now it's minimal bond scope. Can you use potentially some of those owner's contingencies for maybe classroom additions, maybe for some large group instructional spaces? Don't need a decision today, but those are some of the conversations that we want to bring to the board, working through Pat and the administration team, and ultimately the professional team we've assembled. So again, still a lot of work to go, but the good news is right now we're under budget and on schedule. So with that, if anyone's out there watching, please go to the district's website. Thank you to Karen Hughey and her team. And again, thank you to those board members. It was very much appreciated.